Welcome to the CAS-005 SecurityX video on attack surface management and reduction. In this session, we'll explore 4 essential controls that help reduce security risks within an architecture. These include vulnerability management, system hardening, defense in depth, and managing legacy components. Each of these plays a vital role in reducing the attack surface and improving the resilience of your infrastructure. Let's start by understanding what we mean by attack surface. The attack surface is a total number of possible points where an unauthorized user can attempt to access or interact with a system. This can include open ports, exposed services, APIs, web interfaces, and even outdated components. Attack surface management involves identifying and reducing these exposure points proactively. The smaller your attack surface, the harder it is for an attacker to succeed. The first major control is vulnerability management. Vulnerability management is a continuous process used to identify, evaluate, and remediate security flaws in systems and applications. This begins with scanning your systems using tools like Nessus, OpenVS, or Qualys. These tools look for known weaknesses such as outdated software, misconfigured settings, or unpatched exploits. Once vulnerabilities are detected, they are prioritized based on risk. For example, a web server vulnerability that allows remote code execution would be considered critical. Teams then apply security patches or make configuration changes to fix the issue. After remediation, the system is rescanned to confirm that the vulnerability no longer exists. For example, a company might run weekly vulnerability scans. One week, they discover that their firewall is running an outdated firmware version with a known exploit. The security team downloads the latest patch, applies it, and confirms the fix with a follow-up scan. This process significantly reduces risk from known threats. Next is system hardening. Hardening means making a system more secure by reducing its attack surface and eliminating unnecessary functions. This includes disabling unused ports and services, removing default user accounts, restricting administrative privileges, and applying secure configurations across the system. For example, consider a Windows server freshly installed with all default settings. The security team goes in and disables unneeded services like Print Spooler and Remote Registry, removes guest accounts, enables host-based firewalls, and enforces strong password policies. These changes help prevent unauthorized access or misuse. Hardening is important because every unused feature, open port, or service increases the chances that an attacker might find a way in. A hardened system is more resilient because it exposes fewer paths for intrusion. Now let's talk about defense in depth. This is a security strategy that uses multiple, overlapping layers of protection to guard against threats. The idea is simple. If one control fails, another should still block the attacker. Layers may include physical security, network-level controls like firewalls and intrusion detection systems, application security, such as input validation and web application firewalls, and user controls like multi-factor authentication and role-based access. For example, if a phishing email bypasses your spam filter and reaches an employee, your endpoint detection system may still flag the file as malicious. Even if that fails, the user's account may be protected by multi-factor authentication, preventing the attacker from logging in. Defense in depth is critical because no single layer is perfect. Attackers often try to exploit multiple weaknesses, so having multiple layers ensures that one failure does not lead to total compromise. Finally, let's address legacy components in an architecture. Legacy components are outdated systems, hardware, or software still in use even though they are no longer supported by vendors. These systems pose significant risk because they often lack security updates, do not support modern defenses, and may use outdated protocols. For example, a hospital might still use a radiology machine that runs on Windows XP. Since that operating system is no longer supported, there are no patches for newly discovered vulnerabilities. Attackers can exploit the system to gain a foothold in the network. Managing legacy components means isolating them from the main network, using firewalls or VLANs to restrict traffic, applying virtual patching where possible, and increasing monitoring for unusual activity. Most importantly, organizations should plan for replacement or upgrades as part of their long-term architecture strategy. Let's take a moment to summarize. Reducing your attack surface means fewer opportunities for attackers to exploit your systems. You do this by implementing a structured vulnerability management program, hardening your systems to eliminate unnecessary risks, building layers of defense through a defense-in-depth strategy, and managing outdated legacy components with caution and care. When combined, these techniques create a more secure and resilient architecture capable of withstanding a wide range of threats. Attackers rely on gaps and weak points. Your job is to eliminate as many of those as possible through proactive design and strong controls. Thank you for watching the CAS-005 SecurityX video on attack surface management and reduction. Stay tuned for more in-depth videos to help you prepare for the exam and become a better cybersecurity professional.